Let's kick it off.
All
Welcome
right.
everyone to Ship 30 for 30's first of 10 live sessions. This is the Ship 30 kickoff call and shipmate meet and greet. We got a packed agenda today. You're going to meet the Ship 30 team. You're going to hear all about the Ship 30 community, everything that you're going to be able to soak out of that. We're going to give you an overview of the 30-day challenge and the curriculum. And then at the end, the very best part, you're going to get to meet some of your fellow shippers in breakout rooms. And we highly, highly recommend making time to stay for that, because we say this every single time. The number of people that you will meet on board Ship 30 is amazing, and they're all interested in the same thing as you. So you get a chance to meet them right off the bat. Cole, what do you think? Anything I missed before we dive in?
No, I think that's it. You're gonna get a full bird's eye view of everything that's involved in Ship 30, starting with the team here, and then we're gonna move into the resources and all the things that you have at your disposal. So, Dickie, maybe we love telling the story. Maybe kick it off with the origin story here.
Yeah, always my favorite way to start Ship 30 is to say which cohort this is. And this is my 14th cohort. I'm Dickie Bush. I'm going to be one of your co-captains. And that 14th cohort is if you include the very initial cohort, which was just me. It was me on my own on my 30-day writing challenge back in September of 2020. So all the way back in January of 2020, I started to write on the internet. I came into the year saying, hey, I have all these ideas. I just need a way to share them. I want some new opportunities. I was in a job that I was a little bit frustrated in. I knew I wasn't going to be in long term and knew I kind of needed to make a change. So I'd read all these things about all the opportunities that come from writing online. And so I said, I got to put myself out there. And really, it was probably before January 2020, because I probably spent 2 months, 3 months designing my blog, optimizing my note-taking system, doing all these things that I thought I had to have done if I wanted to write on the internet. So I finally got to January 2020 and was like, all right, I'm going to follow the conventional playbook. A weekly blog post. I got to own my platform. Every single week, I'd wake up on Sunday and slave over a hot keyboard, only to hit publish and hear the internet's crickets of indifference because no one knew my blog existed. By the end of the 9 months, I think I had 15 to 20, maybe 30 views on every single blog post I'd put out there. And I think a handful of them were my mom, who's on this call for her 13th cohort. So thanks for reading those back in the day, Mom. But anyway, those first 9 months, they were lonely, boring, frustrating, and I was ready to give up. But I said, okay, I'm going to give this one more shot. And instead of writing a weekly blog post, I'm going to try something completely different. I'm going to write on Twitter every single day for 30 days. And instead of sharing a weekly blog post, this was going to be daily. It was going to let me accelerate my feedback loops, share a single crisp idea, and kind of work through all these things that were in my head that I knew I wanted to write about, but wasn't 100% sure. So I did that. I started this writing challenge, went at it on my own. And I still remember day 28. So day 28 sticks out very importantly in my mind because I hit publish on something and it got 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 engagement. And I was like, all right, that's it. That's enough. This whole writing on the internet thing was fun. I gave it my best and I was ready to completely stop. And maybe some of you have felt that way when you hit publish on something that you thought would be successful and it didn't really go anywhere. I woke up the next day and said, okay, I'm going to finish this challenge. I said 30 days. I'm, a person of consistency. I'm going to do this thing. And so I hit publish that night on what to this day, I can point back every single good thing back in my life back to this exact moment. I was like, this isn't going to go anywhere, but I hit publish. I went to bed. I woke up the next morning and it had gone nuclear viral, thousands of likes, thousands of followers, tripled everything I ever had. I was on the phone with people I'd looked up to for years. And I realized there was something to this idea of shipping something daily, putting a single idea out there, exposing myself to new opportunities and doing it for long enough to see the benefits of compounding kick in. So that's my story. In the last 24 months, have been working together with Cole to try to bring that experience to as many people as possible. I truly believe if you put your ideas out on the internet every day, the number of opportunities you will have will be bigger than everywhere else. So I make this promise to everyone at the beginning of Ship 30 that if you write and publish every day for 30 days, it will change your life. It changed mine. It changed Cole's. So I'm stoked to have you all here and I'm ready to get this cohort going.
Boom. I never get tired of hearing that story ever. And it's very universal. I was noticing in the chat how many people were saying, wow, that's so amazing that all of that happened just since 2020. That gives me so much confidence, that gives me so much hope for all of the things that I can do. And that's one of the big things that's why we enjoy sharing our own stories. For those that don't know, my name's Nicholas Cole. All my friends call me Cole. And I have the same exact story as Dickie. I'll save you the long-winded version, but same thing. You know, I graduated from college with a degree in fiction writing. Actually, I said, I want to be a writer. How does one become a writer? All my teachers said, well, it's very simple. You work on a manuscript for 3 years in a cabin, and then you print that manuscript and you put it in a manila envelope, and then you send it off to publishers and you wait 6 months. And then 8 months later, they send you rejection letters. And then you take those rejection letters and you put them up on your fridge, and then you do it again. And then you spend your whole life making no money and you die alone and depressed. And that's the life of a writer. And I was like, wow, that sounds really great. I'm glad I got a degree in this. And I refused to accept that as an answer. And so very similar to Dickie, I started writing on a site called Quora back in 2013, 2014. And same thing, I can trace every giant outcome in my life back to the simple habit of writing and publishing something online every single day. It's how I wrote my first book. It's how I started my first company. It's how I met Dickie. Just everything comes from writing online. And so one of the reasons we like sharing our own stories, and why we'll continue to, we'll show you those, that first tweet that Dickie put out that went viral, we'll show you, hey, these were all the mistakes that I made early on. And we do that so that you can see how actionable this is. I mean, we both started from zero. Every person starts from zero. And so we want to share our own mistakes so that it doesn't take you as long to reach those same outcomes. So super excited to be here. Very excited to have everyone on board. And Daniel, you want to let the people know how this ship is operating?
Yeah, so the next part of the team you'll meet is Daniel Bustamante, who does it all for us: onboarding, operations, support, community. He is our Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything. Was in that second cohort, or the initial cohort that had anyone else besides me in it. Been working with us since a long time. Daniel, you want to say what's up?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. What's going on? My name is Daniel Bustamante, and I'm the Chief Automation Captain here at Ship 30 for 30. As Dickie said, I've been in every single Ship 30 cohort since the very beginning. I did my first 2 as a shipper, just like you guys. And then after that second cohort, I managed to convince Dickie to let me work with him and Cole. And that's how I became the first Ship 30 employee. And honestly, the rest is history. So my job, my goal every cohort is to make sure everyone inside the ship is sailing smoothly, and to make sure I can help Dickie, Cole, and the rest of the team here create the most epic, life-changing learning experience you've ever had. And so get ready for that. We got a ton of amazing upgrades that we're going to be rolling out throughout this cohort. And if you have any questions, or if you need help with anything throughout the cohort, just let me know and I'll be more than happy to help.
Amazing. Yep. Daniel has been all the automations of the badges, all that stuff working together. He's been the captain of, and he does a tremendous job with that. So we love Daniel. And then our next team member is Susie Ryan, who is our head of shipper success. She is also going to be running our mentorship academy, working with our alumni admirals, who we will talk to as well. But her job is to make sure every single one of you are not falling overboard. You're moving forward, you're sailing forward, you're making it to the end, you're claiming badges, you're riding every day. We have a ton in place to help you do that. But Susie, you want to give a quick shout out?
Sure. Hey, everybody. I am Susie Sunshine over here, if you want to call me that. I am a lifelong program director, and basically what I do is I live to empower people to be your amazing selves. Okay. We have 73 mentors in our mentorship program, and we are assigning each of you to one of them. So please do me a favor, if you have not yet filled out your circle profile with where you are in the world and some of your interests, that will really help me match you to a great mentor that you're going to really hit it off with.
Amazing. Thanks, Susie. Appreciate that.
And we'll talk about our admirals and mentors who are here to help you sail smoothly. But why don't we keep going now that you've met the Ship 30 team? All right. So the admirals, we also have let's actually talk about them in a couple slides, Cole. So let's skip these two and we'll go on and introduce them in a little bit. All right. Before we keep going, we're going to talk about the Ship 30 community. So drop in the chat, what is one topic you want to explore and write about during Ship 30? And the reason we do this is I want to show you the diversity of the Ship 30 community. And we're going to dig into a couple of those metrics that we track to show you that. But if you see this, there is no shortage of interests in this writing community. That, I think, is the most powerful thing. There is nowhere else on the internet where you can surround yourself with every potential topic, interest, demographic, background, country, time zone, age, whatever it is. And every single person in this Ship 30 community has the same goal, and it's to write every single day for 30 days. So you have all this background and different perspective, experience, and all this all coming together with a singular goal. And I highly encourage you to recognize that the number of people that you could meet and that we've seen meet during cohorts to go on to launch businesses, start newsletters together, podcasts together, partnerships, all that. You have such a rich, diverse community here. So I just love seeing all the topics, because when you see that, it's going to be very easy to find others that are interested in the same topics as you, which I think is one of my favorite frameworks, is that the internet democratizes access to friendship. Growing up, if you weren't living next to someone interested in the same topics as you were kind of out of luck. And I definitely felt that way growing up as well. But when you start to put your ideas out there, you just attract all these people who see the world the same way as you. They're interested in the same things. And so that is one of the big benefits of this Ship 30 community.
Yeah. And one of the cool frameworks that we're going to walk you through over the course of Ship 30 is how you can take and be inspired by other people's writing and apply it to whatever it is that you want to write about. That's the biggest benefit of being surrounded by so many different types of people and perspectives and topics and writers, is that it's going to give you ideas of other things that you can write about. So we always love doing that. I mean, even just me sitting here looking at the chat, I get fired up. You're just surrounded by so much creativity and so many different perspectives. It's awesome.
So before we get to the overall metrics of the cohort, we have our top shipper shout out. And if you see your name on here, it means you have claimed every single badge so far this cohort. If your name's on this list, throw some love in the chat. If you're not on this list, it means you haven't claimed every badge. That's okay. You have until Saturday to get caught up and make sure that your name is on this top shipper leaderboard. But there's more than just being a top shipper. We have some golden tickets that we're going to roll out during the cohort. And the only way to unlock those is first to claim every single badge. And then second, we're going to randomly select some top shippers every single week. We're going to bring up, give some fun stuff away. We got a lot of cool ideas in the mix there. And we'll talk about all the things you'll unlock as you claim those badges. So if you're not on the top shippers, claim your badges by Saturday. And if you are, there's your name. Good stuff. Keep it up. The goal is to make it on there every single time and have every badge by the end.
If you've never been in a cohort-based course like this before, we spend a considerable amount of time thinking about and paying attention to where every person is on their journey. And so for us, the coolest part about doing that is we can reward the people who are being most consistent. We can reward the people who are collecting all their badges. We can reward the people that, they make it through, day 14, day 15, all of a sudden everyone's gonna be like, I'm kind of tired of writing every day, So part of why we do that is to continue to incentivize and inspire all of the people that are going through the program. So we really encourage you, please don't think that we're not noticing, because we notice everything that's going on. So lean into that.
We have a very detailed no shipper overboard policy. You're going to be getting emails from us. You're going to hear from us. You're going to say, wow, I've never felt so supported in a course. We're going to make sure you get the most out of these 30 days. So we are here to help you. All right. Cohort overview. Every single continent, I think, except Antarctica, but who knows? We might have someone, in an igloo doing their writing off the grid that we haven't heard from yet. But every single time zone, every single continent, 80 plus countries. It's absolutely amazing. We love seeing this because, again, it just drives the point home of you have joined a global community of people interested in different things, but with the same goal. And so you can really lean in on that, I think, is the coolest part about running Ship 30.
Yeah.
This one is a breakdown of which of these describes your writing experience. And so 55% of people never published anything consistently. 22% have never published anything. If there's anything to take away from this, it's that 93% of shippers in this cohort would not say they are an experienced online writer. And what that means is you might feel like you came to Ship 30 a little bit inexperienced. All right, everyone else is going to know more than me. Everyone else is going to have this thing figured out. But you are not alone. Wherever you are, you have others at the same level, below and above you experience-wise. But we just like to share this because I think it gives a good perspective of all the other people in this cohort that you have on the same steps in their journey as you.
Take that to heart. Realize that you are not alone. That's the whole purpose of being part of a community. It's not just a bunch of people in a room together. It's reinforcing that there's people at all different stages. And so wherever you need help, there is someone around you that's going through the same thing.
And this is Cole, go for it.
Yeah, this is another, we just like sharing this data because I think oftentimes before people start, they have a preconceived notion as to what their experience is in the context of what everyone else's experience is. And why we love sharing the slide is the vast majority of people do not have a consistent writing habit. It's very hard, and even you'll go through it in this cohort, the simple task of writing something short, 250 words every single day. What you'll discover is that the hardest part isn't the writing. The hardest part is waking up and embracing doing it every single day. And so that's why, we hear it after people graduate from Ship 30 all the time, but people refer to the program as life-changing, right? Well, how do you achieve something that's life-changing? It's not because of the writing, it's because of the habit. The habit is what spills over into every other aspect of your life. So that's just one of those things that, we talk about it and we frame it in the context of writing, but we hear over and over again that the more people write, the more they go, oh, all of a sudden I'm eating healthier more consistently. I'm sleeping better more consistently. I'm going to the gym more consistently, right? Because when you practice that habit, it's going to affect every other element of your life.
And so if you flip to the next one, you'll see we do a word cloud when you take that onboarding survey of what the biggest challenge is that has kept you from seeing success writing online in the past. So if any of these look familiar, again, you're not alone, right? Consistency, generating ideas, struggling with perfectionism, self-confidence, fear, building an audience, right? Thinking you need to be an expert in all these things. And so I want to we share these because it drives the point home that no matter what you feel coming into this, you have joined a course and community of others who feel the same way. And I think that is all we're trying to just reinforce because right when you feel that it's no longer this, I'm the only one feeling this, and that's why I haven't had success. No, you've joined a group of people who not only have the same problem, but are also going to overcome it at the same time as you.
Yep. And same thing with the outcomes.
Go ahead.
Everyone's working toward kind of the same set of outcomes, and it ranges from, a very just intrinsic outcome. I just want to write more consistently. I enjoy it. I want to be more accountable to myself, all the way to more external outcomes. I want to build an audience. I want to launch a product. I want to become known for a niche that I own. There are all of these things that you can unlock as the result of writing consistently. And so a big part of Ship 30 is giving the fundamentals so that regardless of what outcome you want, all of them require the same foundational skills and habits and techniques and strategies. So over the next 30 days, that is what we're focused on giving you, is those fundamentals. So then you can build on top of it.
And so how Ship 30 can help is the very last question of our onboarding survey. And we're going to talk about all the ways we're going to help you, Cole. If you flip, so accountability, providing feedback, giving ideas, helping you build a habit, right? These are all the things that our goal is to help you write and publish every day for 30 days, make lifelong friendships, and learn the fundamentals of digital writing. If you leave Ship 30 with those three things, the number of different paths you can take on the internet in your life, it's absurd, right? You lay a foundation, and that's our number one goal. And there are a few other ways we can help, but I think this is the most important one of what you're looking to get out is exactly what we're looking to help you with.
Yeah.
So a couple different ways we can help. Drop in the chat, who here is a first mate? So the first mate is the very first way that we are going to be above and beyond. It's our small group of first mates who are going to get personalized feedback every Friday from Cole. We're going to do a little behind the ship live tour and bonus Q&A. There's a small private community of first mates, and you get lifetime access to Ship 30. So this is our slightly more hands-on version of Ship 30. We have a handful of spots left in that as well. And the goal with that is just if you want a little bit more support, a little bit more feedback, a little bit more hands-on, like I want to soak the most out of this, you can become a first mate, and that all kicks off tomorrow as well. So links in the chat there if you want to dive into that. But on top of that, we have our alumni admirals and our alumni mentorship success mentors. So we'll start with the admirals, who are some of our most experienced Ship 30 alums. Are they in the chat? Can they drop in here? Vinod and Dan, Ev, Ren, and David, Aaron, what cohort is this for you all? Drop in the chat what cohort it is, because I think Ev and Dan, it's got to be 7, 8, 9, something like that. And so we have, working with Susie, a group of our most experienced admirals who are going to be reaching out, providing support, making sure that you have every single life raft you need to soak the most out of Ship 30. This is the first time we've had a full-blown admiral experience on top of our mentors, and the resources are there. That's what we're trying to show you here, is that the resources to support you are here on the community side.
Yep.
Outside of that, we also have our Alumni Mentorship Academy mentors. These are all a big group training that's going on within the captain's table that we'll tell you about. And each of you are assigned to one of these mentors. They're going to be reaching out to you based on your interests, your time zone. We are coaching and working with them to make sure that they're responsive to you to give you what you need to soak the most out of Ship 30. So we've done a ton of training. They're learning a ton and really excited about this new program to make sure, again, you're not going at this alone. You have a ton of support.
Yep. And so I just want to double click on this for everyone. These are all different layers of accountability and support designed to help you build a daily writing habit. Okay. So you've got Dickie and I, and you're going to learn and hear from us on all of the live sessions. You know, you'll see us participating all throughout the cohort. If you need anything, you just reach out to us. Then we've got our whole layer of all, follow-ups and emails and reminders and everything that Daniel has engineered, and then we've got our admirals who are, they're there to help you. And then we've got our mentors, they're there to help you, right? We got Susie going around. She's making sure that everyone's on board. So we have all of these layers in place to make sure that nobody falls overboard. Okay. So we have done everything we possibly can to make sure that all you have to do is show up and write for 15, 20 minutes a day. Okay. So at any point, if you experience friction, let us know. Every cohort, we're always looking to iterate. How do we remove more and more and more distractions, more things, more obstacles getting in your way? All you should focus on is I show up, I write, I hit publish every single day. That's it.
And we're going to dig into all the curriculum things that are going to help you do that. But we wanted to start just saying you have all the community support you could possibly need to get the most out of this. So our mentors and admirals are part of our captain's table. If you're in the captain's table, throw some love in the chat. What cohort number is this for you? So Cole, you want to talk a little bit about our captain's table while they drop in the chat? Because we have people who it's their 3rd, their 5th, their 8th, their 20th, or not 20th, but Daniel's here in the 13th with me. It's 12, 13 for Tracy. Amazing. So cool. You want to talk about this a little bit?
Yeah. So at the end of Ship 30, you're going to be in a completely different place. You are going to have a daily writing habit. You're going to understand the fundamentals of digital writing. You're going to have gotten in the habit of building a library of content. You're going to notice that people are reading your work that you didn't think about. We know this because it happens every single cohort. Okay. You're going to wake up one morning and you're going to go, I can't believe this person retweeted my atomic essay. This is mind blowing. I just got invited to speak on a podcast. This is amazing. You're going to start experiencing all of the outcomes that come from writing and publishing on a consistent basis on the internet. Okay. Which is going to unlock a new set of problems. And that new set of problems is then you go, well, I have this amazing foundation. Now, what do I do with it? Okay. And so the captain's table is at the end of Ship 30. we invite you to then elevate to the next level and go, okay, I've understood the fundamentals of digital writing. Now I want to build stuff. Now I want to become a digital builder. I want to build a newsletter. I want to build a digital product. I want to build an audience. I want to build a niche that I own. I want to build all these things to unlock all these other outcomes. And so that's where then we start working with those people on, yes, it's through the lens of writing, but now we're going to start creating assets from it. So we'll share more about that all throughout the cohort. A couple things just so that you kind of understand where it's going, but it's all focused around building your own niche, becoming known for a niche that you own. We have a bunch of frameworks around how to build that first 10,000 size audience, this barbell that we call reach and resonance, how to build and launch products in a very short amount of time. And then we also do weekly mastermind calls where we dive into all of the cutting edge stuff, all the ways that the digital writing world continues to change. So if you notice people that are coming back into Ship 30, I think this cohort, we have something like 350 people coming back. Those people are all part of the captain's table where you get lifetime access to Ship 30 and you can just continue coming back for more and more cohorts and participating, keep that writing habit up, things like that.
And the captain's table is currently waitlist only. We invite people throughout the cohort towards the end, and we all start the Monday right after Ship 30 ends on a Sunday, and boom, we're right into the captain's table on the Monday after. So you can join the waitlist throughout the cohort. We'll be reaching out, and you can find the link to that in the chat as well as a couple other places.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's keep it rocking.
Just because I see the question in the chat. The first mate stuff that's only inside Ship 30. Captain's table is something completely different. So the first mate is just something that we've rolled out for this first cohort. Again, it's just a more hands-on Ship 30 experience. The captain's table is separate.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. All right. So we showed you here. Go back one slide, Cole. This is everything in the community. You got Captains Dicky and Cole, you got Daniel and Susie, you got your alumni admirals, you got your success team members, you have your fellowshippers, you have everything you need on the community side to really soak the most out of Ship 30. Now, why don't we go on to the curriculum?
Awesome.
Cole, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah. So, from the outside, Ship 30 looks like a writing challenge, and it is. But it's not until you step into Ship 30 that you realize that what you're also getting is an entire curriculum on digital writing. And our goal is, if you've been writing or you've tried to build a writing habit before, that it's a very up and down emotional journey, and you start and then you fall off and you come to some realizations and then you decide you don't want to do it anymore. And then you convince yourself to do it again. And it's a very up down thing. And so our goal in Ship 30 is to compress a year, 2 years, 5 years of learnings, hard lessons into 30 days. And so how we do that is in a bunch of different ways. We start with every week, we have 2 live sessions. Each live session is focused on something different, idea generation, writing headlines, formatting, writing on Twitter and LinkedIn, analytics. We cover all different buckets of content. And then in addition to that, we have a whole async curriculum. During onboarding week, you got access to the treasure map. Okay, that's the entire async text-based curriculum. Dickie, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're gonna talk through all that. So we just wanna say at the beginning here, this is the overview. So we're gonna dig through all of that. Really, what we wanted to share is that this condenses a 12-month digital writing education into a 30-day sprint. So we're gonna explain the live sessions, but if you jump to the next slide, before we get there, drop in the chat, what is one outcome you're looking to unlock from writing online? Because we like to see these because, again, it shows you the community side of what are people looking to have here, right? So opportunities, consistency, discipline, building an audience, creating a niche, monetizing, launching digital products, audience, consistency, right? Everyone kind of has the same ideas here. And it's all circled around, if you had to put one word on it, it's opportunity. It's exposing yourself to opportunities, creating that flywheel of opportunities that you have, where instead of you having to go search for them, you're basically hiring and training digital robots to go share your ideas, and opportunities are going to find you. So I think about my writing as an employee who's working 24/7, 365 to go and find new opportunities, new interesting people, and expose myself and my ideas to them. And so that, I think, if you had to put a pin in it, would be that. And so, Cole, why don't you run through a couple of the things that we commonly see people looking for?
So in terms of why people write online, we talked about these a little bit, but some of the most popular ones are, A, you want to build an audience. You know, you understand that there's value and power in, okay, I've got 10,000 people who want to hear what I have to say, right? And we're going to help you do that in a way that is not, oh, you just growth hacked your way there, and or, you know, you bought 10,000 followers, right? That's pointless and doesn't do anything for you. You want people who actually respect how you see the world in a very particular sort of way through a niche lens, right? Second, this idea of positioning yourself as a leader in your industry. You know, we have a lot of people who take Ship 30 who either have their own company or work for a large company, and they want to use social and writing online as a way of driving attention to what they're building, their ideas, their mission, things like that. Third is connecting with like-minded individuals. Most people don't know that Dickie and I spent the first 7-8 months building Ship 30 before we'd ever met in person. We'd only met on the internet, right? And more that's happening, right? That's very post-pandemic sort of behavior. And so one of the big benefits of writing and publishing on the internet is what you're doing is you're scaling yourself. And all of a sudden, it's making it very easy for all the people that are interested in the same things as you to go, hey, I want to be your friend. And all the people who aren't interested in the same things as you, well, they're not reading your stuff, right? And it becomes a very positive binary outcome. And then some people just go, hey, I feel like I have some really interesting things to share. You know, this was me when I first started writing on Quora. I didn't really have any other giant outcomes. I just said, I have some things that I want to share. It could be stories, could be perspectives on certain things, could be insights about your industry, could be things that you personally experienced, right? So these are all just very like common outcomes that we notice. And then on top of that, we also see more and more like tangible external outcomes. And that's where we continue. That's why we chose to build the Captain's Table, because these kind of require you to understand the fundamentals of digital writing first. That's what Ship 30 is, before you can move into these types of things. So once you've mastered the fundamentals and you've built your daily writing habit, you've started building your library of content, then you can go, okay, now I know what my first or my next digital product should be. You know, now I know what it is readers are interested in. Now I can write a book, right? Because it's not based on what you think, it's based on data. It's what readers are telling you. Okay. Or someone goes, I want to create a course or create a community. Well, before you go create that, you should have some data and some insight to know that what you're building is what people are interested in, right? And you can validate all of that with writing on the internet. And then some people, you know, this was my path as well, is you just go, I love writing. I want to monetize my writing directly. I want to learn how to get paid 6 figures writing on Medium, you know, or I want to learn how to write ebooks that generate passive income, you know, things like that. You want to monetize your writing directly. So these are all outcomes that can only be unlocked once you build a daily writing habit. You're consistent. You start to create that library of content. You get in the flow. And then most importantly, you're gathering data. All of this should be based on data, and we're going to show you how to do that.
So let's talk about the next 30 days and what you're going to get up to. Basically, there's 4 parts of Ship 30. You're going to write every single day and publish every single day for 30 days. That's the goal starting Saturday. You're going to earn badges along the way for completing curriculum, responding to live session events, hitting certain daily milestones. So when you get to your 7th, or when you get to your 1st, your 7th, your 15th, and your 30th, you're going to unlock some rewards. And then by the end, you're going to be a full-blown digital writer. And to be honest, the second you hit publish on Saturday, you are a digital writer. It doesn't take having a certain amount of pieces or library or views or followers. The second you hit publish the very first time, you are a digital writer. So what you've done so far, Cole, you want to recap onboarding week and why we structure it this way?
Yeah. So the whole purpose of onboarding week is to get rid of, right? We're in the process of how do we get rid of all of the obstacles so that all you have to focus on is the writing. So part of that is securing your sacred hours. You know, I have my sacred hours. Dickie has his sacred hours. We even know each other's sacred hours. So we know not to text each other during our sacred hours, right? So your goal is to do that for yourself. When are you going to show up and write every day? And consider that your calendar invite. You cannot skip the meeting, right? Like so often people, you would never cancel a meeting with someone else, but we cancel meetings with ourselves all the time. No, put the meeting on with yourself on your calendar and do not skip it. That is your sacred hours. Okay. Second is you launch your social blog on TypeShare. Okay. So why TypeShare? Because TypeShare, the entire purpose is to give you templates that make it that you have no reason. Every single person has the time to spend at least 3 minutes using a template and hitting publish. Every person has that ability. Okay. So the reason that we've built TypeShare the way that we have is because we want to make sure that there is no friction. There's zero obstacle between you and showing up every day. Okay. Because if you can't even just get to the point of showing up every day, then nothing else matters. You can read about how to launch digital products. We can talk about audience building. We can do all of that stuff, but it's never going to happen because it's all based on I show up every day. Okay. So that's the first thing that we gotta get rolling. Then you brainstorm your first week of topics. This is something that we're going to talk a lot about throughout Ship 30. We're going to give you some really cool frameworks for how you can just turn one idea into 10 ideas into 100 ideas. But hopefully you at least have a sense of, here are a couple things that I want to explore the first few days, the first week of Ship 30. And then most of all, you've joined a community of people that are going through the same thing that you are. Everyone here is on the same journey. And it doesn't matter if you've never written or published anything in your life before, or you've been writing for 10 years. Every single cohort, Dickie and I are challenged again to go, let's go. We got to write and publish every day. Consistency is what breeds success, right? And so you are surrounded by people who are all going through that challenge at the same time. And there's something very inspiring and very motivating about knowing that versus you just having to do it by yourself in your room every single day. 2 days later, you convince yourself it's stupid and you don't need to do it. And then you never unlock any of the outcomes, right? So that's the whole purpose of the community is being able to look at other people and go, oh, this is possible, right?
And the important part about why we front load so much of this into onboarding week before we start writing is because now the hard part is over. Right? You've done all the stuff that usually holds people back. So Cole, if you flip on, the number one thing is, I got to get all this thing set up. I got to have a perfectly designed blog. I got to know that I got to have a month's worth of content planned. I got to have my writing habit perfectly done. And we take all of that, condense it into a week and say, nope, you don't need any of that. We set it up for you. All you got to do is show up on Saturday and hit publish. And now is when the fun part begins. Right now is when you get to just put your ideas out there. You get to read other people. You get to comment on it. You get to make friends. And we front load that whole, that takes a lot of people months, maybe years to do. A habit building crash course. Now you got it. And now you're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
So the 30-day journey ahead, like we said, write and publish every day for 30 days. We have 2 live sessions just like this every single week. That calendar, hopefully everyone has subscribed. It's one click. Adds to your Google Calendar. All the links are there and you know exactly when you need to show up. On top of that, we have deep dives and curriculum paired with every single live session that you can refer to, flip back to, you'll have access to forever. And then a very cool thing that you'll see tomorrow that I don't think there's any other community on the internet that enables this is you are one comment away from getting paired in a group chat with another shipper at any time during the cohort. So we call these rapid fire intros, and we're going to show you how that works tomorrow. But basically, you can spend the entire cohort saying each week, you're going to opt in for a rapid fire intro. You get a rapid fire badge. So if you want to stay on the perfect badge top shippers list, you need to meet someone new each week. You'll leave a comment. It'll pair you up in a group chat with the ship bot. And that way you're ensured to make some friends along the way.
Yeah. And please make use of that. Like you will meet some really cool people in here. Every single cohort, I end up making a handful of new friends, and it's one of the coolest parts about being in Ship 30. So even though you can do it as a single player game if you want to, we very much encourage you to treat it like a multiplayer game. Meet other people.
So you'll see how rapid fire intro works tomorrow. So here are all the curriculum resources there at your disposal to make sure your 30-day journey, you soak the most out of it. You get 100 times worth your initial investment, and you can walk out of here saying, wow, I feel like I have unbelievable amounts of knowledge and new opportunities here. The number one thing is the Ship 30 course guide. Who's downloaded the Ship 30 course guide? It was the very first thing. Anyone have it printed out? Anyone been using it? Anyone checking off every single day, every box, every badge? That is your source of truth. If you follow that checklist every single day over the next 30 days, you win. You're going to be a Hall of Fame shipper. You're going to be on the leaderboard every single day. You're going to build a writing habit. You're going to soak so much out of this experience. I can't even start to explain. All you got to do is follow that checklist. It's easy on paper. It's a little bit harder to do every single day, but I promise you, if you stick to that checklist, it's got every single thing you need. The links are there, badges are there, everything is there, and all you got to do is stick with that.
Yep.
Cole, you want to talk about the Ship 30 template pack? How this is the newest upgrade for this cohort?
This is a massive upgrade to this cohort. What we've done is we've gone through and created a 30 days of shipping template pack in TypeShare. And it's 30 days of different writing prompts, all constructed into templates, with the whole purpose of, if at any point you wake up that day and you say, I don't have anything to write about, or you know what, I'm just not feeling inspired today. Okay. Guaranteed there is something in here that will trigger an idea for you. Okay. That is the whole purpose. And every single one of these templates are things that I have written on the internet thousands of times, literally. These are some of the most common, some of the most popular prompts, structures, formats, things that every single person has an answer to. Okay. You have an answer. So all you have to do is just open the template pack, click on a random day. You don't have to even go in order. If you want to, you can go from 0 to 30. You can do it for the whole cohort. But the whole idea here is that no matter what, you always have something to write about. So we spent a ton of time creating this. It's at your disposal. Again, you don't have to, but hope that you give it a shot.
I think I'm going to follow this 30-day template pack, this cohort, because it eliminates all the thinking. You don't have to come up with the ideas. You're just answering questions. And when you get to a point where that's all you're doing, you're really unlocking a big amount of leverage, because it doesn't take you a lot of time. You're creating a ton of content. You're generating a ton of impressions and ideas and just getting yourself out there. That's the goal. So this is all included in TypeShare. How's everyone feel about TypeShare? You signed up, use the template pack. You started to explore it. Helpful, makes sense, know how to use it. TypeShare is going to show you everything you need soon enough. We're going to have videos. We're going to have a ton of cool things coming in that. So keep using TypeShare. Keep sending your feedback to us in the TypeShare support chat as you go. Anything we can get to right away. Sam, the head developer of TypeShare, is in there. They go directly to his inbox in Slack. So you get help right away as soon as you need it.
Yes. And by the way, I saw the question in the chat. So after Ship 30, if you continue to use TypeShare, you will keep access to the 30 days of shipping template pack. Other people, if you haven't gone through Ship 30, do not have access to this. So just know that at the end of Ship 30, if you continue using TypeShare, you will continue to have access to these templates, whereas these are not templates that we make public for any other users on the platform.
Yep. All right. So other than the Ship 30 template pack, Cole, you want to talk about the way we structure the curriculum a little bit?
Yes. So the first 2 weeks, and we notice these same questions over and over again. So kind of trust that every question will be answered at the right point in the cohort. Okay. So the first 2 weeks are all focused on experimentation and exploration. All right. We are more focused on showing up, doing it every single day, exploring a range of topics, right? Not getting in your own way, engaging within the community, meeting other shippers, right? It's more about the process. And the reason, kind of the big POV that we share here, is the reason is because most people assume they know what they want to write about and what their audience wants to read from them. Okay. Most writers all have that assumption. I had that assumption. We all have that assumption. And so the reason that we do this is the first 2 weeks are about validating that assumption, right? Explore, write about a bunch of different things, see what resonates, see what people are commenting on, see what gets traction, see what other shippers ask you questions about, right? The whole idea is for you to put things out into the world and then to notice what happens. We're going to talk about why that's so important, okay? Then in weeks 3 and 4, we're going to show you how to take all of that experimentation and start to refine it. Okay, so this is more about doubling down. So you go, okay, I wrote 15 things, right? What were the topics that worked? What were the topics that didn't work? What did I think I wanted to write about forever? And really, I wrote about it twice, and then I never wanted to write about it again, right? So weeks 1 and 2 are all about validating or breaking assumptions. And then weeks 3 and 4 are about doubling down on the things that are objectively working. And so the goal is by the end of Ship 30, you're going to have a very clear sense of, okay, I wrote a ton of stuff, and now I actually have data that's telling me where there's opportunity and where there's wasted effort, right? That's the whole idea. This is the complete opposite of you go and sit in a creative writing class and everyone's like, what do you want to write about? And everyone's like, I have this amazing idea. And everyone's like, that's a great idea, but they never actually share the idea, right? They don't ever actually put it out into the world. We are going to force the action of putting ideas out into the world and then seeing what the response is. And in doing so, you're going to achieve a completely different level of clarity.
And so from here, the way we break it down is the first 2 weeks are everything you need to learn the fundamentals of writing on the internet. Your mindset, how to come up with ideas, how to write headlines, and how to format and use writing rhythms to keep a reader's attention. If you have those 4 core skills, you can write on any platform, any length, any cadence, any topic, anything. And so that's why we start with the fundamentals. It's a complete crash course where by the end, we see in real time. And the beauty of Ship 30 is instead of just learning these things and feeling like you're learning them, you get to put them into practice the very next day. You learn, apply, learn, apply. And that's the beauty of this 30-day feedback loop is you never just learn and it's like, that makes sense. It's no, I put that into practice tomorrow. How can I write a better headline? How can I format this better? How could I write this more concisely or longer or expand on this sentence or remove this, right? You have learn, apply, learn, apply. There's no passive learning in this course. And that I think is my favorite part.
Yeah. You will notice as we go through this, like after the headline session, the very next day, everyone's headlines are going to be different. And then after the formatting session, the very next day, you're going to notice everyone's formatting is different, right? That's the whole idea is it's not about just learning for the sake of learning. It's learn something and immediately put it into action, right? And you're going to see it in real time. It's very cool. And then the second half of the curriculum, right? We do a halfway checkpoint. We make sure that nobody's fallen overboard, answer any questions that people have. And then, like we said, the second half is more focused on, platform specific things. So you need to understand the fundamentals first before we can get into stuff like how do you write Twitter threads? How do you write viral LinkedIn posts? All of those are variations on the fundamentals. So we need to go through those first. And then we talk about analytics. Most people, when they write something, they hit publish. And then regardless of what it does on the internet, they just kind of sit there and are like, that's cool. And that's not, the job is not done when you hit publish. That's when everything begins, because now you're starting to gather data. So we're going to show you how to examine your data, right? And how to use like the analytics dashboard, and TypeShare is a great example. You can sort by different data points and get a very clear sense of what topics are working for which people. And that is a completely new way of thinking about writing, right? Hemingway didn't have data. If Hemingway had data, he'd probably be a very different type of writer. So now that we have all of this information and technology, we want to show you how to use it. And then finally, at the very end, when you're going to take those learnings, we're going to show you how to rewrite your bio. This is how you introduce yourself to the world on the internet. We're going to introduce you to this thinking of how do you name and claim your own niche, right? And that's kind of the moment where then people go, okay, I've gotten in the habit of writing and publishing on a consistent basis. I'm a digital writer. Now I want to be a digital builder. Now I want to start building things off of this foundation.
Right. And so how we structure the curriculum. First, we have the live sessions. The live sessions are a chance for you to learn live on exactly what we're sharing. So starting on Saturday, we're going to dive into the mindset of a digital writer. And from there, we hear this time and time again, these are the best parts of Ship 30, 60 minutes of us teaching 20 minutes of breakout rooms. All sessions are recorded, detailed show notes, slide replay or slide decks, chat transcripts, all that if you can't make it live. But we highly encourage everyone to make the time for it because they're just a lot of fun. If you had fun during this call, you're going to have fun during every single call. We bring the energy. You're going to leave here excited. And from there, afterwards, you're going to claim a badge. So with every live session, we pair that with a badge. So Cole, if you flip to the next. Actually, sorry, go back. With every single live session, there will be a badge available. We're going to tell you what that badge unlocks in a second, but the way to unlock that badge is to leave a comment. Usually there is a assignment like leave today. I think it's what you're most excited about over the next 30 days. After every single live session, there will be a short assignment that once you watch the video will be really easy and it reinforces the learnings. You leave a comment and you unlock your badge. Paired with every single live session, right next to it in the circle group, you'll see the text-based version of that live session. So think of this as the entire Ship 30 curriculum that you received on the very first day, split up where I just want to focus on headlines. I dive in and I read that section. So you can look at this, print it out before the live session if you want to follow along, because we're going to be talking very similarly to that, but some people like to read more than they like to watch. So we will provide that as well. Yeah. And then finally, with every single one of these, just to drive the point home, because sometimes it's good to see examples and a little bit deeper of a dive. We have a deep dive follow-up, which is like a mini case study with every single live session except this one. So starting on Saturday, there will be a deep dive that once you read, it will really reinforce the learnings as well. So there's a ton on the curriculum side. It helps see the frameworks in action. We take a lot of time on these and think that if you just soak in them for an hour during the live session, you read it before, you read the deep dive, you're going to walk away with just a whole breadth of experience on top of writing every single day.
Yeah, this is like four to 8 years of writing education crammed into 30 days. I mean, the amount of every single cohort we hear it is like there's so much here that one of the big reasons people come back and do several cohorts is because they want to go through more and more of the education that's here. The deep dives alone, each one of these is like a mini book on the subject. So even if you can't make the live session, even if you don't have time to watch the replay, at least read the deep dives, because the deep dives are going to give you such a good sense of the main idea that we're trying to share.
Now, the final new addition to this cohort, we used to just give badges, but now when you claim your badge, you're going to unlock some exclusive bonuses, bonus assets that are going to come to you via the Ship 30 bot. And it's basically a way to reward the shippers who are keeping up with the course. That's it. If you are writing and publishing every single day, you're going to unlock things that not everyone gets access to. Straight up, we said, we want to reward the people who soak the most out of Ship 30. So you're getting swipe files, templates, iPhone backgrounds, maybe some physical swag here if we can get a couple things in order, but no promises on that one. And if you stay at the top of the leaderboard every single week during and get on the top shipper page, we're going to have some golden ticket rewards like free first mate, free captain's table, all that stuff. We're going to be rolling that out every single week. So if you think the badges are just a way of us to keep track, which it is, you're going to unlock even more bonuses, tons of new stuff. So this is new for captain's table members as well. They've never seen these assets, so they're going to be doing it the entire time during this course. So the badges are not just a gimmick. You actually unlock more new, exciting things. So we do this because we know if you claim every single badge, there's just no way you don't have success during the course. So make sure you're claiming the badges. Make sure you're following the checklist. Make sure you're writing every day. There's a lot during Ship 30. We try to cram it all in today's session, but that's pretty much all we got. The community, the course, everything. And there it was. So a quick recap. Cole, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, so tomorrow we're going to make sure, again, we want nothing to get in your way. So tomorrow we're going to do a quick tech check. If you have any last minute questions or anything that you're unsure about, hop on tomorrow. We'll just make sure that you're all taken care of. The first live session is Saturday at noon Eastern time. This is where we're going to introduce you to our whole POV around digital writing. Okay, we're going to make sure that you never look at the legacy writing world the same way ever again, because there's a bunch of myths, there's a bunch of very unhealthy mindsets that people fall into, which is why you see so many people get stuck in this rut of perfectionism, of, oh, I'm not ready yet, of getting in their own way, right? It all stems from a very old way of thinking about writing. And so we're going to share our whole POV with you, get you super excited about writing on the internet. And then the second live session is going to be the following Tuesday. And we're going to walk you through probably one of our coolest frameworks, which is the endless idea generator. And this is how you will never run out of things to write about, ever. Once you learn this, you'll have my problem, which is I spend all day, every day thinking about all the things that I can write about. You have the opposite problem, right? So that's the goal. And then same thing, Friday, next week, headlines, how to write irresistible headlines. There's a whole art to writing headlines. That's why we dedicate an entire session to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you can, these live sessions are great. We pack a lot in there. The energy is really cool. So if you can make the time, try and prioritize it. But of course, if not, like we said, everything's recorded. We'll distribute it afterwards.
All right, drop in the chat. What are you most excited about over the next 30 days? How'd this session go? Are you feeling excited, pumped up? Drop in the chat a big takeaway. What do you got going on? Let's see a little bit of love in the chat. New templates, reading other people, captain's hat, super excited. Love to see it. Great start. Writing buddies. Yep, you can unlock those tomorrow. Amazing. We love bringing the energy on these calls. I hope you guys felt it. I hope you show up to every single one of them, because that's what we do. And that's all we got. If you need help, if you need questions answered, go to help and questions in Circle. You can let us know there. Now we're going to jump into some breakout rooms. We highly recommend, if you've never done a breakout room, to stick around, meet other shippers. But if you can't, it's okay. Go comment on the replay video here. Cole, if you go back, share what you're most excited about to unlock today's badge. Make sure you do that so you're on the top shipper board for Saturday. Tomorrow is all about getting you set up to publish on Saturday. Make sure everything is squeaky clean to get your ship sailing. And other than that, we're going to do some breakout rooms. But if you can't stick around, that's all good. If you can, we'd love to have you. Other than that, let's jump into these breakout rooms. We're going to share this screen. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to share why you joined Ship 30. Follow each other on Twitter, connect inside Circle, and then comment on the replay so you claim your badge. And then this cohort is officially off and running. So amazing stuff. Daniel, you want to jump? If you can't stick around, go ahead and hop out. Other than that, we will see you on Saturday.